nonetheless, happy Farmers Day to you.
Yeah, good evening, Shalom, and thank you, and happy Farmers Day to you. I'm a farmer myself, engaged in the cultivation of coconuts, and so I'm in my village. I came for the celebration, and it's so far so good.
I see. That's great. So I'm sure very soon we may be considering you for district best farmers and things like that. But that's fine. So yes, students, Form 1 students are to report for school on Monday. A few things have been said here and there, but now we have the Speaker of Parliament coming in to say that he thinks that, or the Parliament thinks that the 4th December date appears too soon or sudden after the release of the placement results, or the placement, the placement results. And so you should consider somewhere first week of January. And he cites the fact that, we may not even have a lot of activity happening between now and Christmas. So coming in January afresh appears like a good proposition. What's the Education Ministry's position on this?
Yeah, thank you, Solomon, once again. Of course, we do agree as a ministry and concede that on the face value, it does appear that considering the time that placement results were released to the public space and the time that students may have to prepare and go to school, which is the 4th of December 2023, certainly it appears short. But I've always maintained that at every conversation, context is very important. And what is the context here? If you look at the fact that this year around, we have what we call the National Comprehensive Prospectus, which has been released also within the public space, and for the first time is also attached to the student placement slip. It cuts down the number of days that students ordinarily would have used to prepare for school. For instance, previously, students may have to travel, sometimes even outside their regions, to different regions, to their schools where they were placed, take their prospectus. After picking their prospectus, may have to travel back, buy their items, and then go back to school for registration. Of course, we are also mindful of the number of items on the list that translates also into, some high figures in terms of the cities that one may have to mobilize to purchase these items. This time around, there has been something novel. We've attached the prospectus, which is a comprehensive prospectus this time, to their placement slip. And what essentially means is that students do not have to travel to their schools to go and take the prospectus, travel back and come and buy the items on the prospectus. Again, parents will not have to look for huge sums of money. For instance, if you look at the prospectus for instance, day students, which is across board for all over 500,000 students that has been placed within the various 6 senior high schools, you do not need, for instance, an excess of, say, 300 cedis to acquire items on the prospectus. So the cumulative effect of the National Comprehensive Prospectus, the fact that you are attached to their placement slip, and the fact that you do not necessarily have to go to the school before you get it, cuts the number of days for preparation for almost about a week. Again, we should also be mindful that this academic calendar has always been within the public space for some time now. And that's, I'm referring to the 2023-2024 academic calendar. And the natural expectation was that parents, guardians, and students prepare even ahead of time. The Ministry of Education is again of the belief that, yes, our students have been in the house for some time now. So it is more prudent for them to report to school. Of course, reporting to school does not necessarily mean that you are going to, that instant on that 4th of December, begin serious academic exercise. But you have to go through registration process. Most of the schools, you have to go through orientation process. You have to acclimatize with the school conditions, the school environment, pick your books, and get really ready for academic exercise. I want to also emphasize that, yes, indeed, students are expected to report to school on the 4th of December. But students who are unable to report on the 4th of December do not necessarily lose their slots or the schools that they were placed. So yes, some can come on probably the subsequent day. Some can come even other days. We've all been to school before. We open school, and as you have students even coming in the subsequent week. So the resumption date is not necessarily just like an event where every student must be there by all means, at all costs. Like we've seen previously. The strength and capacity of mobilization by various students and even their parents differs. So yes, the reopening date remains 4th. We are concerned about the concerns that have been raised. They are valid. We concede them. But looking at the circumstance, the fact that we've introduced the national prospectus, which cuts the preparation time, the fact that the academic calendar has been in the system for that long, the fact that our students have been in the house for that long and they need to go through registration process, get ready, prepare for serious academic work. The Ministry of Education is of the belief that students have to report on Monday, the 4th of December. And I'm not sure it's an issue that really parents have complained, especially from us within the Ministry of Education. It's not really become an issue. Parents are indeed preparing to take their walls to school. And I'm hopeful that Monday, a lot of students will report to school. But if you are unable to report on the Monday, I'm sure subsequent days, you can also report accordingly.
Yes, I think it's really an issue. That's why it came to the attention of Parliament, and the Speaker of all people will have had to pronounce on this. But the issue is, of course, the prospectus, the harmonized prospectus, has been in the system for some weeks now. But you know how things work. I mean, sometimes the list or the placement has to come before parents really will begin, allocating resources to that. It's not as if they have the resources sitting somewhere waiting for this purpose. Yes, it would have been ideal to start buying things, one by one till they have the full complement of it. And especially as not much will be done around this time, I'm not sure they are complaining that the children have been home for a long time. If we all start in January, so we go the full haul, I think that's the concern really. I'm not sure parents have complained that their students or children have been in the house for a bit too long. That just is a concern. But from as we speak, the ministry's view is that, notwithstanding the concerns, students should still report because, work must start.
Yeah, Salom, are you also aware that previously, when there were variations and differentiations in the prospectus that school assigns to students, there were some students who were even unable to pick up the admission. Some students have to pay as high as 5,000 Ghana cedis. And even there were some institutions that were more. This time around, because of the harmonized prospectus, which has been has a national significance and is across board within all schools, parents are almost buying ordinarily the items that they would have bought at a half price, because a lot of the items which repeated have been scrapped off the list. For instance, let me give you an instance. If you go to an institution like, say, Preset Lagos, where students were expected to, say, bring broom, say, cutlass, and say, a hoe, this time around, instead of all the students taking the 3 items, we've divided the students into 3 groups, where each group is to present 1 item. So significantly, the cost value or the cumulative effect in terms of cost value that one may place on the prospectus has also reduced. And so in terms of parents struggling to raise money to really buy the prospectus, the story is not the same as it used to be. This time around, parents will even have to pay less because of the introduction of the harmonized prospectus. And based on that, we believe that adding that to the fact that students may not even have to travel to their school before they go and collect the prospectus back and forth, a lot of the preparation days have been cut. And that's why I want to emphasize again that the fact that you are expected to report on the 4th does not necessarily mean that if you do not report on the 4th, you are going to lose your slot. You are supposed to be there, pick your books, go through registration process, acclimatize, pick your school uniform, learn the school culture and everything, then fully get ready. I mean, bottom line is that whichever argument that any party may advance, it is more prudent for students to be in school at every point rather than they stay home. And I'm sure you agree with me.
I see. So maybe we'll leave it there, Kwesi. Thanks so much for speaking to us on this. Wish you the very best, and we'll be around on Monday to see. But your minister is due to be in Parliament on Monday to answer questions on all of these. I thought he would wait to see how that encounter goes before making the students go to school. But now, I mean, the instruction has been given, so the students will go to school. So he'll be there on Monday. And I'm sure he will go around to also see how things, are panning out in the schools.
Yes. The bag, drops or rests on the minister. But obviously, you have Ghana Education Service making a decision together with their council and even stakeholders within the education space. Obviously, if the speaker is making any advice, the minister will obviously appear. And at some point, I'm sure may also have to consult with the agencies for further decision making. But until then, the reopening it remains. Maybe after Monday, all consequential decisions will be taken. But for now, nothing has changed. The reporting is for the students who are unable to report on their slots. They can come the subsequent days, and academic exercise will proceed.
So you're saying consequential, directives could be given, but the students have to go to school on Monday, and minister will be in Parliament on Monday. And you're saying that if they don't go, they don't lose their slot. Yes.
Tell them if on Monday students are at school, what would be, the outcome of any decision that will come? It will be predictable. If on Monday students are in school, I'm not sure minister going to meet with Parliament will really change it. But of course, I do not want to usurp that process. That is beyond my pay scale. But so far as I'm concerned, the ministry's position is what I've espoused there. That fourth students are supposed to be in school, and like I indicated, it has always been more prudent for students to be in school rather than being in the house, and that is the position of the ministry.
And the ministry is not considering the fact that, Christmas is coming. Parents will be saddled with a lot of, expenditure, Christmas, etc. Soon after that, school reopens again. Now, students will be prepared to go to school. That's one cost. In January, they will have to go back. That's another cost.
The expenditure debate will not suffice here. Because at the end of the day, if your ward is in school, government is taking care of your ward morning, afternoon, evening. Compared to the word staying home, which one would any parent select if you are given the option? You are a parent. If you have a choice where government is feeding your child morning, afternoon, evening, providing textbooks, providing exercise books, providing clothing, any other thing, paying utilities bills, and that student being in the house, obviously not learning, not doing anything. In terms of making a choice as a parent, which one would you rather make as a parent?
I see. I'm not sure about the feeding bit, because some parents whose children are in school say they've had to supplement what the school gives them. But that's fine. We start from somewhere. But interestingly, a number of my messages I'm receiving or seeing on the console suggest that it's important for the ministry or GS to listen to the minister. So, for example, this one says that the Minister of Education must listen to the wisdom the parliamentarians have suggested. Going to school at Navrongo on 4th December from Accra and come back for Christmas is too dangerous and very expensive. The minister should listen and so they don't endanger the lives of the students from Kweku in Accra. Is it something?
You think when students go to school in January, they won't still travel by road to Navrongo?
No, but the fact that they have to go again, and this is Christmas,
No, I'm asking you advance an argument about that. I'm saying that whichever day they go, you think their lives cannot be in danger. You see, I do not think we should reduce the whole conversation to that. Bottom line is that, like I indicated, whichever way students have to be in school, prepare steady rather than they being in the house. And the position is that it is more prudent. It is better for them to be in school, be taught by their teachers, and rather than being in the house.
All right. Thanks so much, Kwesi. Thank you so much. Kwesi Kwarteng speaks for the
All right.
Ministry of Education. He was just